Well, girl, let me tell you a story about Drake. That's right, Uncharted.
Hello, humans, and welcome to the Gen X Gamer Show, the show with the most macho gameplay style delivering video game entertainment with guaranteed below average gameplay to help your video gaming self-esteem. And now, from coast to coast, from sea to shining sea, and directly from my laptop to the fruited plains of the US, to the world, welcome to the Gen X Gamer Show.
Well, let me tell you, Kennedy, those were different times back then. Different times. Yep. Well, for those of you unfamiliar with this particular beauty here, this is Uncharted. Uncharted Drake's Fortune. It's like an action-adventure video game. It's a Naughty Dog, and it was put on the Sony PlayStation 3. It was back in 2007, my friends. Yes. 2007, Kennedy. It was a very different world. You know what was going on back then? What was it? Kanye West, Stronger. That was a good song back then. And Soldier. Oh yeah, Soldier Boy was back then. Crank That was released around the same time. Alicia Keys was hitting it back then. I remember. Yep. That was some of the music back then. You guys might have some other memories. Yeah, some other memories from 2007, November 2007, when this game was released. Go ahead and put them on there. There was movies, I remember the big movie back then was the B-movie. That's right, with Seinfeld. Jerry Seinfeld had that B-movie, and it's still really a cool movie. Kids like it. And what else was going on, Kennedy? What was I watching on TV? Oh, yeah. Scrubs was big back then. I was watching that on TV. What else did I watch? I used to watch Everybody Loves Raymond, I think. What else was there? The Office was there. 30 Rock. What about Everybody Hates Chris? I think those were the kind of things I was watching back then. How I Met Your Mother. Futurama, I believe. Yeah, I think Futurama had already come out. It was just a very, very different time, Kennedy. It was before all this climate of today. All these people that love conflict. But let me tell you about this game. You know what? Better yet, Kennedy, let's put it on. Let's put it on the way it should be, right? The way we used to do it. Yeah, I know you're excited. But let's talk about this beautiful game right here, Kennedy. Look at this. This is what I remember. Remember covers, guys. This is one thing I noticed. Did anybody ever use the notes? I know I didn't. But, we never used them, and now we miss them, right? We miss not having this book that we almost never used. Instructions. I have several versions of this game. Registration cards. Did anybody fill those out ever? I know I mostly didn't. I did it when I was younger, and then as I got older, I just didn't care. And there's the man himself. Look at that. Well, let's get ready for some action. Hello, humans, and welcome to the very, very first Video Game Pose Down. Video Game Pose Down, that's right. From being a fan of wrestling, I always liked that hype, that pre-match hype, right? And when we were looking at video games, when we were younger, whatever it said on the back of here, however people read it in the ordinary world, is not how we read it. The way we read it, and this carried into adulthood, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a pre-hype rendition of the back cover of Uncharted, Drake's Fortune. Now, you can read along with me so you know how to properly hype yourself up for a retro game that is going to be properly played with the right amount of hype just before you purchase it. Let's go. A 400-year-old clue in the coffin of Sir Francis Drake sets a modern-day fortune hunter on a pulse-pounding exploration for the fabled treasure of, let's say it in Spanish, El Dorado. The search quickly turns deadly as Nathan Drake begins to uncover the mysteries of the island. To me, guys, this whole thing is a ritual. It has to be played on this machine, of course. And everything, the sounds, listen to that. The big loud fan going on. The disc going in. Loud. Oh yeah. That's the way it should be. At least that's the way it was meant for this game. But in all seriousness, guys, man, I'm feeling a little nostalgic today. Been having a rough couple of weeks, and I started playing this game all of a sudden. I played it before, but this time it took me back, and because I sort of felt the same way last couple of weeks, like I did in this period of time. It was a period of transition. It was a period of new things, new job, all those things came to mind. And this game took me back to a familiar place. It took me back to when I was watching my son play and telling me about this wonderful new machine, the PS3. Now, we already had it, but he was aware that I couldn't play because I was working a lot. So what he would try to do is, show me what this machine could do, why it was better, for example, than the PS2. But it wasn't until this game that I really understood and what this machine could do completely, and how much I started to value the production work. Specifically, I felt for the first time with this game that I was, really watching a higher quality movie in some ways. I don't know what that has to say, like a high quality TV movie. And that's not Oscar winning or anything. But what I'm trying to say is that I started seeing the progression of video games. I started seeing the difference and the leap, that we were taking in video gaming. And it wasn't really until recently where my son put it into context that it really was the biggest leap as far as consoles into this generation. One that I missed, but I'm glad we had the machine at home, and at least by far I was able to experience it. Once in a while, I play the games, but at this point, guys, I was working so long that I really had no time. If I had maybe an hour, a couple of hours during the week to play, that was a lot. I had a lot of responsibilities back then. But I found myself in a situation now where I was reminiscing about this, and I started thinking, what was I listening to back then? What was I watching when I could, right? What were my kiddos doing? They were in high school, and it was, like I said, it was a period of transition, and you can imagine, having kids in high school. What an adventure that was, sort of like the adventure here Drake is having in his Uncharted. And that's what I'm living now, man. I'm living an adventure. But I like to look back. I like to look back because I handle situations differently now than I did back then because of the experiences that I had.
you know, a lot more level-headed and stuff like that. But it's nice to reflect. It's nice to reflect about the good times. It's nice to reflect about not only the victories we had, but the mistakes. You know, what we learned from our experiences. And that's what I do when I touch my games. You know, a lot of people just play the games, you know, to play them. For me, it's a little bit different. You know, I spend a lot of time with the case. I open it up. I look at it, I touch it, you know, and I try to go back in time, and I try to savor those memories, because let me tell you something, guys, depending where you are in life right now, you may not value memories as much as you will in the future, especially with the people that you love, because you don't know when those moments are going to end, and they never come back, but it's nice to talk about them. Alright guys, that was the video for today. Thank you for joining me. You want to hit me up, I'm always on Twitter at GenXGamer. It's GenX_Gamer_. Or you can reach me on my Facebook page, whatever. You know the links. You know what's out there. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. I'll try to keep them up. It's just crazy out here. Take care. Stay blessed.
Thank you for joining me on another episode of the Gen X Gamer. Remember to like and subscribe, click the notification bell, and remember, never be afraid to be happy. We'll catch you on the next one. Take care.